just want to share a sure fix for cleaning your Nintendo games and refinishing or fixing your 72 pin. So I had to blow on the Nintendo. It was ours originally. I was going to sell it. My daughter said she was interested. I would have to blow on it to get it to work, but it would work before I started all this. Then I watched some videos and they talked about boiling the pins and using some kind of brasso on them and this and that. I tried all of them and it just seemed to make it worse. And I tried to clean it all and I pulled up the pins and I got so frustrated I ordered a 72 pin connector from some guy on eBay. And then I cleaned it. I put it in and it only worked twice and it was really, really tight, and he said it was because I didn't clean my games properly. So he told me he could refund it, but it was because I didn't clean my games properly. But mine is gold, this is tin, aluminum. So I decided to try something else. He said you have to use the eraser that's gritty and whatever. I did not want to wait any longer. I was really frustrated, and he told me you had to take the games apart to clean them, even though I had done the method, and I have a video I'll put up where you put the little Q-tip in there and some brasso. I didn't use brasso, but a tarnish cleaner, and then I cleaned it off afterwards with alcohol, and some of them were still working with my old pen, but they weren't great, and so he said to use this eraser and that it would work, and I just got frustrated. So when he said it had to have grit, I in my head pictured steel wool, and I have this really, really fine 000 steel wool, and I thought I'm going to try that. So I took the worst offending game. First I did one that I don't care about, what I did before that was I took, because I had already bought the other one, this one wasn't working that well, my original one. I took my original one, so I'm just going to pretend this is it. I'm not going to do it to this because I don't want to ruin it because I didn't want to return it, but I took a credit card and I put it through, so I just put it through a little bit of this, like I pulled it thin like that, and then I shoved it in on the corner into the contacts, so that it was kind of like a sandpaper on the contacts. And so basically I just took it with that on it and I just sanded several times each little area, and then I blew it out, and then I soaked it in alcohol in a snack baggie, put it in, and then I shook it, and then took it out and let it air dry. And once I did that and I put it back on, you can see how shiny they are. So then I tried one of the games I didn't really care about or whatever, and I put it in, and it kind of worked a little bit, and I was really excited. I'm like, this is great. It's at least working better, you know. I put it in and it kind of worked. So then so it worked. I was like, okay, let's do it. But then I thought, well, what if I clean the games? Then maybe it'll be really good, because it was a little bit digital. So then I took Zelda, which was, you know, as a well-played game. Everybody's as well-played. Oh, shoot. Trying to get this out with one hand. So that game was one of the ones that struggled every time I put it in. So I thought, if I clean Zelda and I use it on my original pin, then, so what I do is, this is how I cleaned it. So I unscrew the screws in the back. There's some of them, there's 5. The Zelda, there was 3, and then there's these little clips that set in, so you kind of have to lift it out and pull it out, and then put it back in carefully, put it down, and then screw the 3 screws in. So there's only 3 screws on the Zelda. And then what I do is, so you take it apart, and don't lose the little screws. So I just leave it like that angle so that I don't lose the little screws. And it looks like this. So you can kind of see it's kind of gritty, dirty on the, oh, well, maybe you can't. So it's really clean, kind of one color here, and then it's like scraped down the middle, and then it's kind of dirty on the rest of it. This side is really dirty. I don't know if you can see that, but there's like kind of There you go. Can you see the ones in the middle kind of have a gritty haze on them? And then, so you just take the still wool, and I need 2 hands to do this, so I'm just going to tell you how I did it. So I just take it like that, and you don't want to get up here in the green. You just want to get it so it's just right on the gold contacts. And then I just went back and forth, and I was very careful to get the edges, because on one of the games I did this on, it didn't work unless I pushed that corner in, so that meant I didn't clean that corner contact well enough. So I just go back and forth about 4 or 5 times, and you'll see the tarnish coming off of it. And then once you've rubbed it back and forth a few times, then I just take some alcohol and put it on a paper towel, and then I rub it. And you can kind of see maybe there's a little bit of dirt on there from the last one that I cleaned. But I just blew it off, and then I just rubbed it with the alcohol, cleaned it off, and that was the Zelda one that I just cleaned. And then I put Zelda in, and I turned it on, and look, I didn't have to hit reset. I didn't have to do anything. I am so excited. That little line going down the screen that you can see is because of the camera. I can't personally see that. So, yay! Is that exciting? So, yeah, that dark line is not on my TV screen. That's just on the camera screen. When you videotape TVs, that's kind of what it does. Anyway, I was so excited. So this method works, and after fighting with the mailing and the $10 and dealing with the non-gold one and everything, I highly recommend 00 still wool. Just sand it down really easy. Look, it's starting. I can't believe it. She's going to be so excited. Her very favorite thing is Zelda. She actually was Link for Halloween one year, and she has the Triforce shirts and everything. She just loves Zelda. So I'm so excited that it was cleaned and working, because that was one of the ones that wasn't working at all. So don't buy a new 72-pin connector. Buy some 00 still wool. Get some rubbing alcohol, get yourself a little screwdriver set, and clean the contacts on both. And then there's videos all over the internet, but I actually think I did one too, where how to take apart the case. It's really simple. Just basically take out all the screws that you can see for each connector. Leave the screws. I show you how to do it. I tape the screws on the inside of each piece, so I didn't lose the screws, but all of the screws are the same size except for these 2 silver ones. I don't know if you can see it, but there's 2 longer silver ones that go through the board. So those are the only ones that are different. So you basically take these 6 screws out once you get down to this part, and obviously you wouldn't want to game in it, but you unscrew this and you kind of pull it out a little bit and lift it up, and then this just pops off the back. You can just push it off. So it's sitting on there like this. So it comes on and it just slides onto the board. And the other thing I did have to do also was clean the board connector. So I just took the still wool and I just ran it along the connector while the board was still in there. I just ran it across the back, and then I just took some paper towel with the alcohol and cleaned it up. So I didn't need an eraser. I didn't need to buy a new one. I tried the boiling thing. I tried the Brasso kind of stuff. I tried the alcohol, the Q-tips, and none of those worked like this. This was awesome. I totally would do this all over again. It was the best idea ever. So that's how I suggest you do it. Check out my blog, thesecretisgratitude.com, and type in Nintendo at the bottom on the search box on the homepage, and you should be able to find this post with pictures and details, and hope yours works as well as mine, and thanks for watching.